Yes, now look at this. So we are going to handle this fourth question. Now let us this. Okay. What do we learn? Learn means something new things we are going to learn. Remember that always, that when you are learning something, that means what you don't know earlier, you are learning that one. So when you are learning here, see, try to identify some twisters. What are the twisters you can see in the beginning of the sentence? So fine, with continued opioid use. Okay, the mechanism, binding of opioid, activated G protein. Then what comes? Okay, here fortunately is a marker, adverb. Then interestingly is a marker. So one word comes along before like this, that means they are important words. Then immediately after this, interestingly, there's a word however. However is a twister. Twister means changing the direction of the question. So however means in spite of all these things. However means in spite of everything. So you have to remember that. However means in spite of everything. Yeah, we learn something differently. Fortunately, something is going on and learning about something interesting. Okay, and this is however, that means in spite of everything. Okay, in spite of everything. These are the linkers. First two are the connectors, fortunately. Okay, markers, we can say, better to say markers. Fortunately means luckily. That means earlier there is something unlucky, but now there is something lucky. And all interestingly, that means before there is not interesting things, but now it is interestingly. Okay, something more valuable. So however, that means in spite of. However means in spite of. However, okay, in spite of everything we have seen earlier, that means there is something different. So this talks about what? There are two things which it is talking. However, what is talking? Talking about tolerance. Is talking about tolerance. So this is tolerance. However, tolerance. What tolerance? Opioid tolerance. Does not occur to the constipating, means constipation. Effect of the opioids means opioid induced constipation. So you can understand from here the clarity is given. So the clarity is already there. You have to try to understand that clarity which is provided there. However, tolerance is here. And opioids is related to opioid. Okay, constipation is related to opioid tolerance is related to opioid tolerance. Constipating is related to OIC, opioid-induced constipation. So these are the two things which are pointing to OIC, opioid-induced constipation. That is constipation and opioids. So that is this one. Constipation, OIC, opioid-induced constipation. Constipating effect of the opioids is nothing but opioid-induced constipation. Words twisted. Then, however, tolerance, opioid tolerance. So this is opioid tolerance. So both of them, the relation is shown here. It is discussed very clearly regarding opioid tolerance and opioid-induced constipation. So, however, is the twister. It is totally twisting the picture. Everything, what all we have talked about is not that much important. However, means in spite of all the things discussed earlier, be ready to understand or learn that tolerance does not occur to the constipating effect of the opioid. This is talking about the relationship between tolerance and opioid-induced constipation. I hope you understand what are twisters and what are markers. This is a special session from Grandmaster class. Okay. So those who are seriously interested only can approach classical corrections, the admin of the classical corrections. So this is what you can understand, deduce. It's so simple as that. Find out some keywords. You learn something new. You learn something special. You learn something extraordinary. That is fortunately and interestingly. Those are the two words you have to look for, or some other word. Okay, similar to that one. Okay, luckily, fortunately, accidentally, interestingly. Okay, extraordinarily. So specially, like that, something word will, that only we will learn. And however, is the twister, means in spite of all that we have seen, okay, you know, there will be many rules and regulations, and say terms and conditions apply. That is however. However means like that. There are some things which you have to, everything you are eligible, everything is okay. But in spite of everything we have discussed earlier, tolerance does not occur to the constipating effect of the opioids. That's it. That is the print screen. Yep.